Hey folks, welcome to the Do-It-Yourself Dad channel. Today I am joined by a very special guest.
Hi, I'm Kaylee from Kaylee's Kitchen YouTube channel.
And today we've got something with us. We've got her cooking knife. And this is a great knife for kids. And the reason it's so great for kids, it's the right size for their hands. You can see here it's not oversized, but it also comes dull. So when you're teaching your kid how to cook, they can cut with a knife that won't cut through their fingers. This thing will cut fine through vegetables and fruit and stuff like that, but it won't cut through meat. Kaylee's at the point now where we are ready to sharpen this knife and give her a full edge. But before we get into that, Kaylee is celebrating a milestone on her YouTube channel. What's that?
100 subscribers.
High five. So to celebrate her 100 subscribers, she's actually giving away one of those knives on her channel. So the link down and below, you can check out her channel and be sure to enter that drawing because you can win. We'll ship it to you totally free, one of those knives. But today we're going to be using this thing. This is a work sharp. This is the best knife sharpener I've ever used. You can do a lot of different things with it. You can set the bevel of your blade right there. You can polish the blade. You can also take a tool that's been badly damaged and correct it with this thing. So it's a great tool. And it's really easy to use. So easy, I'm not going to show you how to use it. Kaylee is. Now this thing might look intimidating compared to some of the other things you ever use to sharpen a blade if you use the stones or the different things you can slide through, but it's really not that hard and it's pretty clever in how they have it set up. It's basically a belt sander with a small belt on it, and these are guides for your blade, and you can set the angle of the guides with a wheel on the back side over here. You dial this wheel back and forth and it can set these to whatever bevel you want on your blade. Now, with the instructions here, it gives you recommendations for the different degrees to set on it for your blade, and also which grit belt to use, because depending upon what you're cutting, you're going to want a smooth edge or a little bit of a gritty edge. So follow the directions there. It comes with all these belts, and you can buy replacement belts too. Now, in the case of Kaylee's knife, we're setting it at 20 degrees. And we're going to be using one of the coarser belts because her blade does not have an edge on it. So we have to form that edge before we can start polishing down the edge. So we're going to get started here. So before we start working with this thing, we do need to make sure we put on protective equipment. This thing isn't that loud, so we don't have to worry about that, but we do need to protect our eyes. We're putting on some eye protection. And if you have long hair, be sure to tie it back. Now, Kaylee, have you ever used this thing before?
No.
But we're going to use it for the first time today to show you how easy this thing is to use. So let's get started. Now, when it comes to setting up your work sharp, the kit comes with instructions, very clear instructions, and it depends upon what kind of knife you're sharpening, what kind of things you're going to be cutting with that knife. It'll give you directions on what belts to use and what progression, how many passes to do on each belt, what speed to run, and what angle to run. So be sure to follow those directions. It'll get your knife perfectly sharp. I've actually had this work sharp now for a little over 2 years. I've sharpened our kitchen knives multiple times, all of my pocket knives, camping knives. I've sharpened axes and everything else. I'm still on my original set of belts, so these things do last a long time. If they do happen to wear out, though, as I mentioned before, you can purchase new ones, and I'll have that link down below along with the work sharp that we're working with here. So I don't know how well you can see that there on camera, but we have started to bevel an edge in there. It does need a little bit more to get it to the point where it is sharp, but we're getting there. We are using the coarse sander, and then we're going to go to a finer grit to polish it up once we're done with that. So now that we've got a good edge on here, we've sharpened it down to a good edge, we can come on here and change this belt out, and that's just pulling up on this little thing to relieve the pressure, and the whole belt comes off real easy, and the new belt can go on. And the easiest way to do this is start from the bottom and come up. You loop it over that top right there. And your new belt is in place. So this is a finer grit belt. This will start the process of polishing up that blade to get it to a nice, smooth finish. So we've gotten the edge a little bit more polished. We're going to work our way up the different grits of sandpaper until we get to the nice polished edge, and then we will be all done with this knife. And there you go. In no time at all, you've got a perfectly sharpened knife. and you have the satisfaction of doing it yourself. And you've probably saved some money if you've ever shopped around on some of the professional knife sharpening services that'll come out into your kitchen knives. Purchasing this thing and doing it yourself is actually going to save you a lot of money in the long run. And of course, thanks a lot for watching.
And don't forget to check out my channel where I give away this kids cooking knife.
So check that out down in the description below. I've got a link to her channel. I've also got a link to where you can pick up one of these guys, one of these work sharps. I love this thing. And of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button down there. Give me a great big thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know what other kind of stuff you want to see on the channel. Thanks for watching.